Hello, racing fans. Welcome back to the channel for another episode in the series. We are back with episode 2 of our Ante-Post series. I think we're doing about 10 episodes between now and Cheltenham, building a portfolio each, and then going to see how we get on towards the end of the season. As I said, this is episode 2, so we do have one selection put up each so far, and we will recap on those in a moment. But first of all, just check in with the boys and see how we're doing. Jamie, you okay? There's a big huff there. Are you all right?
Oh, getting
Getting
old, Joe.
comfortable?
Getting old. That's what that's called.
Yeah, all good, mate. Good stuff. Liam, you all right? You okay?
Yeah, all good. Was not exactly scratching around. I'm happy with what I've landed on, but I found episode 2 tougher than episode 1.
Didn't you? Okay. It's sort of me, really. I was sort of forced us to do one early in the week because I've got one ready and the price is starting to dismantle quite quickly. So I wanted to get mine out there. But just a quick recap then, gents, on our first selections and how you're feeling with those. Jamie, the yellow clay was obviously beat, but no harm done, to be honest, at this stage of the season with him.
No harm done. The ground was bottomless, Joe. He needed a bit of better ground. The Colonel Mustard was flit. No, I wouldn't like to be beaten by Colonel Mustard later in the
Sure,
season. Put
sure.
that way, Joe. But look, no, I was happy with the run. Uh, Fine. On to
Yeah.
maybe Leopardstown at Christmas, I'd say, for the 3 miler.
Yeah, no big reaction required. Like you said, plenty satisfactory for his debut. Liam, you'll probably be glistening a little bit more on the sense. Obviously, you put up July Flower as your first selection, 33-1. Brilliant in the Arkle trial, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's a general 16s. There are some 20s knocking around. I went back and looked at some of the times actually, and she was quicker, albeit Lodersud was eased down, but quicker than Lodersud on heavier going. And obviously there were different days, so it's difficult to make
Hmm.
the comparison and whatnot. But yeah, I was satisfied with it. Hopefully they continue down this 2 mile route with her. Kopek de Boards obviously tempered some enthusiasm when he came out and performed really well. But no, happy enough, mate. And yeah, roll on March. Hopefully she lines up there, gets the allowance. And at the moment, there's just one to beat.
Yeah, and as you said, Henry knows how to win these races with mares, doesn't he? So yeah, look, really good performance. And my first selection was Salvatore Mundi for the Arkle. It looks like he's going chasing and going to make his chase debut this week. So hopefully that goes to plan and we can review that next week. But episode 2, so it's time to add another selection each to the portfolio. Jamie, I think you went first last time. So Liam, we will start off with you for
Okay.
selection number 2, even though it doesn't sound like you're overly confident, but what have you got for us?
I am. It's going to be based on tactics come the day and how the race is ridden, really, because the way in which this horse will win is the race will need to be turned into a staying test rather than riding this horse for speed. But I was looking for this race on the Tuesday, funnily enough, just to double check prices before we started, Joe, and I couldn't find it. And then I remembered that's because it's on the Thursday now,
Oh, okay, I see, I see.
and it's in the mare's hurdle. And we mentioned this on the review show, the fact that you've got Lossiemouth at the head of the market who would look destined for the champion hurdle. Cargeese is in there who's going to go chasing, and you got Brighter Days ahead. That's 3 of the top 5 in the market. So already you can get rid of those and you're starting to look at some decent value. And for those at like shorter prices, Woodoo might even be value at the 4-1 that's knocking around for her for this race. She seems to be the one to beat. But I've looked at some of the back form from a Dan Skelton trained mare in here. Only 7, ran a really nice race when just beaten a neck by strong leader the last day at Wetherby. That was over the 3 miles, and that's why this needs to be turned into a staying test in this mare's hurdle. So the horse I'm alluding to, of course, is Take No Chances, who's available. I think there are some 40s knocking around for
Wow.
her. If you look back to her form last season, that race at the December meeting that was won by Woodoo, where the form worked out exceptionally well, where Joyeuse went on to win what was formerly the Betfair hurdle, and you had plenty of others in behind. Take No Chances was beaten 2 lengths by Woodoo on that day, conceding £10 to her. So I definitely think that therefore there's scope for Take No Chances to close the gap with Woodoo. She certainly has improved the Gordon Elliott horse. But then there's other form from last season. She did finish 11 lengths behind Lossiemouth, but if Lossiemouth doesn't turn up here, then therefore you've not got an absolute superstar to beat. She followed that up last season, Take No Chances, by beating Cargeese, again conceding weight to her. Look at her price in the market. It's a quarter of Take No Chances. And yeah, that form behind Lossiemouth, she ran pretty well at Cheltenham and Aintree, but they were a 7th and 8th starts of last season. She wasn't lightly campaigned by any means. She's already had the 2 races this season. I think that if they can try and utilise her stamina, she could well get Woodoo at it. And I think it's another one of those markets where potentially there's just the one to beat. Jade de Grugy, obviously, we think will potentially go back hurdling. She's one who would also be up for consideration. But at the price discrepancies, I can see her being far closer to a single figure price come the day. And with the 40s available, look, outside of Ireland, Dan Skelwyn is head and shoulders above any other trainers in Britain. If he's going to get more improvement from one, and one that could cause a bit of an upset based on market prices at the moment, it would be her. So take no chances, play it each way if that's the way you play Ante-Post, but that is my second selection of the series, mate.
Are you advising each way, Liam? You got to be
I would,
clear. You got to be clear.
I would
Yeah,
be indeed. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, good stuff. So anti-post angle with a nice anti-post angle there. July flower and take no chances in the mare's hurdle for Liam at 40-1. Nice selection, nice honest mare as well. Could do plenty of bits. Jaime, who is number 2 for you?
I went fishing there on Twitter there a couple of months ago, and you know me, like I like to cast out an old rod and people bite. And the next thing I said, some horses overpriced, who was upsized Joe's favourite son in the Queen Mother Champion Chase last year, 40-1. So I give a quick run through the race. As Mr. Knight has said there to me, no worse than good to soft. I have a quote from here from Joe himself saying, no worse than good to soft.
He's brought receipts. I can't.
No matter what he does, if it's soft to heavy, Marine National won't win at Cheltenham. So I can rule him out straight away anyway, Marine National. So Sergino, who nearly passed away, couldn't have him until you see him. So I know what's going to happen with Sergino. He'll make a fool out of all of us in the game Spirit Newbury, and he'll bounce at Cheltenham, right? So Marsborough has jumping frailties. Look at the way he ran it. Now, hopefully they're going to iron out. Obviously, he's only a 5-year-old. And basically, I don't know. I think he'll be better off up over further eventually, and I think he'll be eventually a potential Gold Cup horse. Elate Toms never won at Cheltenham. Lotus Sud to me is not good enough. Fact, if I won't run here, Jesus, Constitution is 25-1. John Bond doesn't like the festival, so only by night going to Mares, Chan Kiley, Bambridge, Katie Guar's in there. Like, how to this day the horse that was upside the Champion Chase winner is still 33-1 for the Queen Mother Champion Chase, and the horse who was a former Triumph Pearl winner in the Henry Brownhead Cheveley Park on Quick Silios is my second selection at 33-1, and I think it's a madness of a price because I think it depends whoever's going to turn up on the day. He was upsized Marine National. He can go on any ground. He loves Cheltenham. He's a great record around there, and he was very unlucky. You have to go back to his Arkad in the Gaelic Warrior one. Now we're bringing back the Gaelic Warrior again. That he missed the start, and he got a bet. The start of the Arkad was a joke that time. Rachel Blackmore was roaring at the start, saying, "Why do you let him go?" And lost several lengths at the start. So he'd have been probably there with Gaelic Warrior at the end of the Arkad. There's no doubt about that in my mind. So with the doubt of a few of them in it, and obviously, look, and it's all jokes aside, and the respect to Marine National, obviously he's still the one to beat on better ground at Cheltenham. There's no doubt about that. But if it gets really heavy, or soft to heavy, this horse is forming anything. I know he was second last year in the Tingle Creek to John Bond, fourth to Solness in the Dublin Race Festival. But this horse seems to be just like Cheltenham. And yeah, I think he's well overpriced at 33-1. It's a real stab. But look, be honest with you, the 3 horses I've had in my mind for the race all year is Marine National, Masborough, and Quick Silios. I haven't even given Sergino a thought because I know it was the best performance I've seen in a long time, like starting out in a graded race last year at Kempton beating Ballyburn. But I don't know. I don't think you'll ever see him again. That's just me, and I hope we do because I think he. If this was like if he ran in his novice chase campaign, this horse would be odds on now to win the championship, Sergino. That's just me. He'd be close to 6-4 anyway. So look, you have to see him. I'm not buying into fact to the matter that he's back to where he was because he nearly passed away. So look, I think Quick Silas is still a massive value in this race at 33-1, and you can't knock him.
Yeah, look, can't argue with the price, can you? To be fair, if he stayed on his feet, he was obviously not going to get beat by as far as Marine beat John Bond, for example. So that's a good price to finish second, Jamie. All right, that's a good price to finish second.
Still a better price
Okay.
than taking 4-1 and a choker
No,
and a
it
bog
is a
horse.
good, it is a good price, mate. You are right. Honestly, you are right. I do agree. I do agree. Okay, so Calixios there for Jamie, and my second selection actually comes in the Stayers Hurdle. Now, this is a horse I'm very, very fond of. A horse in the silks of JP McManus in the name of Honesty Policy. A really nice 5-year-old by Jukebox Jewelry. Now, this is a horse that actually won a point-to-point in October, and then come April was a Grade 1 winner at Aintree. Now, you don't find many horses with a rise that quick. Now, he's obviously going to stay over hurdles. He's got an entry at Ascot this week in the long distance hurdle. And with the Wall Park set to go chasing, that just pinpoints the route now that Honesty Policy is going to be a Stayers hurdle horse. He obviously progressed through the season. He got beat on his rules debut at Naas in a good race, but he then went on to win at Navan. He then won at Leopardstown. He won on a flat track like Aintree. And then he was second at Punchestown by half a length to Jasmine DeVoe, who was pretty much favourite for this race before being quoted as out for the season. Now, for me, with so much less racing on his side at the moment, Honesty Policy is the one that actually could progress and go much further than Jasmine DeVoe himself. He is still available at 16-1 at the moment across the board, pretty much. And I think that has to be a bit of, well, I just think it's far too big a price considering the form on offer. He's actually got better form than the likes of Ballyburn and plenty of others that are at the head of the market. So if you correlate that form from Jasmine DeVoe and Honesty Policy into the Stayers Hurdle, I think he is an absolute certainty to go pretty damn well here. He's only been tried at 3 miles once, and that was at the end of a long season at Punchestown, where he was only just touched off by Jasmine DeVoe. Left-handed, right-handed, undulations, flat track, doesn't matter. So I think come the time of March, I think we're going to be talking about Honesty Policy as a real single-figure contender for the Stayers Hurdle. He is the one that's progressing in the field, not quirky at all, does his job, jumps well, travels, stays. He's a real box ticker for me. So Honesty Policy needs to be backed now for the Stayers Hurdle at 16-1. Okay, short and sweet episode, gents, but that's 2 selections out of the way. I suppose we will give it a couple of weeks now until we bring out the next selections, unless the lads obviously say, look, I need something I want to get in the book. But for now, it's Honesty Policy for the Stayers Hurdle for me and Salvatore Mundi for the Arkle. Liam has got July Flower for the Arkle and Take No Chances for the Mares Hurdle. Jamie's got the Yellow Clay for the Stayers Hurdle and Calixios for the Champion Chase. So 2 each at the moment in the book. A long way to go. Anything else to add, gents, or is that it for us?
Just something I suppose that people may want to check out if they haven't already. You see sometimes some bookmakers are much better price than others, and the flutter firms seem to be top price for an awful lot of these anti-post markets. So if you don't look, I'm not on any commission from Sky Bet or Paddy Power or Betfair, but especially the former 2 I've mentioned there, they tend to be top price. So maybe obviously just check out your Oddschecker grids or your Sky Racing grids, whatever they are, wherever you get your prices from, and just double check where the best prices are. But they tend to be best price. Them and Hills really are being quite competitive, which is unlike them, is what I'd say.
Yeah, look, we're trying to find the best value, the best money, get as much back as we can. So definitely shop around to find the best price available. Okay, again, thanks everyone that's tuned in. Short, sweet, snappy episodes, these Ante-Post series videos, but of course we do flesh them out in other episodes through the season. Thank you all again for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. If you can click like and subscribe, even better. We really do enjoy everyone tuning in. And let us know who are your best bets for the season as it stands right now, because there's plenty of value out there, just about trying to land on the right ones. As usual, thanks Liam, thanks Jamie. We have a review out already. We're going to do a weekend preview. We've got other stuff lined up for this week too. So stay tuned and we'll see you all real soon. Bye for now.